Welcome to this supercar test day at the famous Castle Combe racing circuit in Wiltshire. This is in fact the 7th time that the event has been held at this venue. The most keen enthusiasts arrived here long before the circuit opened to ensure themselves the satisfaction of the first run around the track. Others, who had settled for a more civilized awakening this dull and wet Saturday morning, now have to wait their turn for those treasured minutes out on the circuit, giving time for the already bustling crowds of spectators to examine these supercars at unusually close quarters. But before drivers are allowed to take their vehicles out on the racetrack, scrutineers give the cars a thorough examination to check out each machine's track worthiness, thus ensuring the continued safety of driver, vehicle, and of course, spectators. And after the scrutineers have finished and passed the car, it's off to the rear of the queue to await those precious moments on the track. These were some of the earliest cars seen out on the circuit, despite the poor weather conditions prevailing and a night before of torrential rain. Luckily, this hasn't deterred a majority of the spectators who are taking up positions by the track to see these supercars in action. So, what is the idea behind an event like this, which enables it to attract such a wide variety of high-performance cars?
The idea behind a supercar test day is that anybody who owns a high-performance car that they cannot use to its full potential in daily use on public roads can come along here and, without worrying about the law or blue lights in the mirror, can exploit the performance of their cars.
With such a cross-section of drivers and vehicles out on the track today, what safety precautions have been taken?
Basically, in the event of an accident, there is an ambulance and St John ambulance people on site who can get extremely quickly to anything that's wrong and obviously, take them to hospital or whatever. Equally, there are marshals at all the vital points, all the hard cornering points on the circuit, who are obviously highly trained.
And with safety assured, we return to the track, finding a Lotus Esprit on its last circuit of this session. And the news that officials have black flagged the Lynx D-Type because of noise restrictions in force on the track, effectively banning the car from the circuit for the day. But there are plenty of other supercars here to satisfy all tastes. Here is the first of our featured circuits today, which includes 2 Lamborghini Countashes, one being a Quattro valve, a 944 Porsche, Nissan 300 ZX, Sierra 500 Cosworth, and Porsche 911 Carrera Targa. The track is still wet from the night's rain, so all the drivers are taking it easy, making sure they know where the worst patches are. With track time strictly limited, each session is soon over, and the cars are called off the track in the traditional racing manner. As this selection of cars pulls off into the pit lane, officials are already supervising the next group of cars onto the track. This new group includes a Caterham Super 7, Porsche 911 Carrera 2 convertible, Tomaso Pantera, 2 Lotus Esprits, and a Porsche 944 Turbo. With another session completed and the weather improving, we take a look at the increasing number of supercars and enthusiasts. As more cars arrive at Castle Combe, the lineup of vehicles waiting increases near to its 50-car maximum for the day, allowing spectators and drivers a chance to relax, to talk, or even just to pose. Back out on the circuit, the track is drying out, and things are really beginning to speed up. Here we have a Lister Jaguar. This particular example sports a for sale notice, yours for a mere 40 grand. Other supercars in this session include a Tomaso Pantera, 2 Porsche 928s, a TVR, and a Porsche 911. Moving up to the head of the queue in the pits is Guy Mundy with his Caterham Super 7. Guy has allowed us to look over his shoulder for the day's events with our in-car camera.
It's like Big Brother sat there, isn't it? Peering over your shoulder, watching.
So what does it cost to enter an event like this?
I mean, today it was £50. I think it's good value. I mean, I used to race, but you're spending £50 for sort of 10 minutes of practice in the morning, and then the race in the afternoon, another 10 minutes. But on a day like this, at least it's sort of open for 8 hours, and you get as much time as you like almost.
Why do you come to a test day like this?
Just to show up the the German cars, the Italian cars, and everything else. Just to show that the British can still produce a good car.
And joining Guy out on the track for this session are a Sierra Cosworth, Porsche 911, another Caterham Super 7, Astra GTE, BMW M3, and a Lister Jaguar Cabriolet. Well, after that exciting and wind-blown look at the circuit, let's examine a more exotic approach to speed, in the form of...
This is a QV, Countach QV, Lamborghini Countach QV.
How old is this car?
It's a 1986.
And how often do you drive it?
This is the first time today.
Really?
Oh, yes.
It's my car, but he's filming me, listen. I'm legal to drive it on here, but I haven't got a licence to drive on the road because I was caught speeding.
Right.
And I haven't had the car that long, so I've had other cars like this, but this is my first
obviously
QV.
you're beautiful.
So what made you come to this test day in particular?
Well, I know all the people, as De Tomaso's do, and the Lamborghini Club are holding a joint do here.
Indeed, Lamborghinis of all varieties have come to Castle Combe today, including this staggering lineup of Countachs, Miuras and 25th anniversary models, giving everyone the unique opportunity to view these highly sought after and prized machines in the friendly and enthusiastic environment of the Lamborghini Club UK. The Lamborghini Countach first appeared at the 1973 Earls Court Motor Show, and with the exception of spoilers and wheel arches, the basic shape has changed little since, and is still one of the most striking cars on the road. Miuras, on the other hand, are rare classics seldom seen, so a selection of Lamborghini Miuras like these is an unusual sight not to be missed. The 25th anniversary model is the last of the Countachs to be produced before the Lamborghini Diablo, which is due for release shortly. Throughout the day's events at Castle Combe, a careful and experienced eye is kept on the proceedings by the St John's Ambulance Service. Watching from the control tower, they have an unrestricted view of the entire circuit and can react quickly to any accidents which may occur.
That's a novice racing, that thing.
For our next featured session, we have two Porsche 911s, an RS200, a racing Jaguar XJS, and a Sierra Cosworth. As this session comes to a close, let's talk to a driver of one of the cars that's coming out next.
I've had 3 of these before anyway, this is my 4th one. But, I mean, the car seems... Shut up, you! Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine over there sort of helps me out trying to set the car now. It's still not set up right, but yeah, it's all right. It's good fun.
So you use this as a personal test day?
Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine, he's a mechanic. He just does a bit of work sort of in his spare time or whatever, and he just helps me set the car up. And we didn't have a chance to set the car up beforehand because it was too wet, so a bit of a test really for us, yeah.
As the TVR pulls out onto the circuit for the next session, it's joined by 2 Porsche 911s, a Tomaso Pantera, and a Lancia Fulvia. For drivers who feel that they need a little tuition to get the best out of the circuit, why not get an instructor to sit in on the session? Are you enjoying the day so far after this tuition?
It's good fun. It gives you a chance to really get to utilise the potential of the car on the road. Quite frankly, it's just too dangerous. I value my licence too much, but it gets it out the system. And I think possibly learning how to drive properly on the track actually also helps you on the road.
Has it made you more safety conscious?
Say so, yes, yeah, I would say so. And also, as I say, it gets it out of the system.
And if you feel that riding on two wheels takes your fancy, how about these? The range of bimotor motorcycles offered in the UK by the Follett Group. Powered by Yamaha engines, there are 4 models in the range. Prices start at around £13,000 and continue up to £17,500 for the fuel-injected 180 mph plus Tuatara. With the weather changing for the better, the sun has appeared, the crowds have arrived, and the afternoon sessions are looking great, with 1 or 2 surprises in store for everyone. Several vehicles have arrived to be displayed rather than to be driven on the circuit. This replica of the AC427 Cobra was creating a lot of interest amongst the enthusiasts. To buy and maintain an original would cost the earth, but a replica like this could almost be described as pocket money at around £15,000 complete. This Rally Lancia Stratos fooled a lot of people during the day, but it is in fact a Transformer Cars HF2000 replica. The rally scene was dominated by these, the real ones that is, for several years in the 1970s. These, on the other hand, are not replicas, but conversions, designed and built by Paul Bailey of PBB Design around the original Lotus Esprits. This metallic blue example being the first production Esprit Saint-Tropez completed. Another replica, this time a Lee Noble Ferrari P4 racing car, catching the eye of spectators this afternoon. And if you're too embarrassed to drive your Citroën 2CV anymore, then take a can opener to it and turn it into one of these, a Lomax Roadster. While Guy Monday in his Caterham Super 7 pulls in to join the back of the queue and a 45-minute wait until his next session on the track, we see more Caterham enthusiasts waiting with their car and discussing the merits of these popular machines. Meanwhile, at the front of the queue, as another group of cars pulls onto the circuit, we ask the Lister Cabriolet owner, why this particular car for you?
Well, I use this car on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot of high electrical attachments on the Tomatoes, but on a day-to-day basis I don't think it'd be very practical, whereas this is, except for the fuel consumption.
Will this day make you a better driver on the road?
Not really, no. That's my car phone ringing. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's really relevant to road use, to be quite honest. It's just a completely different experience.
Basically, it's an RS200 made by Ford. They built it in the late 80s as a Group B rally car. They built 200 examples because you need to build 200 to achieve what they call homologation. It makes it possible to rally the thing. They've been running, I think, for about 18 months, and they just started to really get competitive, and there was one of the first serious rally accidents with a Peugeot, I think it was in Portugal, where they decided, after which they decided that Group B rally cars went too quickly, and they banned Group B. I have some other cars, I collect cars as a hobby. When I'm using that, I use it to go through London traffic. It's not very practical, but it's...
Have you made any changes to the car for its sessions around the track today?
We always give it a good check over, make sure that the brakes are okay, make sure that the wheel bearing's all right. We try and check all the safety items, and then also before it's allowed out on the track, there's a scrutineer who does a basic safety check as well. We tend to also do 1 or 2 modifications to make it more suitable around the track, like we use slick racing tyres, which give better grip in the dry. We use competition brake pads. Other than that, it's as it goes.
And for any budding supercar or racing car drivers, there's the opportunity to test your skills along with those of your peers with your own Grand Prix on the Castle Combe go-kart circuit. Or put yourself to the test in the hands of the experienced instructors on the skid pan. Here we have what turned out to be the highlight of the afternoon. Well, judging by the crowds anyway. A rare specimen in anyone's books. Only about 230 of these dream cars were made. And if you haven't figured out what it is yet...
It's a 288 GTO Ferrari.
So why beg for
Something.
it?
Why? Seemed appropriate at the time. Here we go.
Joining the Ferrari 288 GTO, we have a Lamborghini Countach, Lister Jaguar, and Lotus Esprit. As the Ferrari is called off the circuit for driving too fast, is there any rivalry between the drivers today?
It is only a sort of fun day, but yeah, certainly when there's a few cars out there.
Yeah, there is. Between the people who know each other, certainly.
We're not out to race or anything, we're just out here to have fun, you know.
There's no rivalry to this car here today. There's no rival.
Are there many restrictions governing how you can drive today? Such as overtaking, for instance?
Yeah, you're allowed to overtake. They just tell you not to sort of overtake in the braking areas and so on. You know, when you're racing and that, you might be sort of juggling for position on the bends and that. It's a bit dangerous, really.
Something that perhaps not everyone has listened to. And so the cars pull out for our final circuit of the day, which features a Sierra Cosworth, Nissan 300 ZX, Porsche 911 Targa, Alfa Sud, Porsche 911 Coupe, and a Maserati Merit. However, not all of today's circuits have gone perfectly. Take a look at these. This Sierra Cosworth is demonstrating the line not to be taken around Quarry Corner. But he wasn't the only one. This M3 had real problems at Paddock. And the Dino had a bad day as well. At least the other cars missed him. Anyway, one more dent won't do any harm. But today's most interesting incident happened to the driver of this Countach.
Well, I picked the car up from, it's up for sale at the moment, in a showroom in London, and I didn't check the tyre pressures and just overcooked it on the first bend. Just went too fast and spun.
Our in-car camera passing now showed us this view. I hope he's got shares in Pirelli. After a change of trousers, the car was soon back on the track, albeit much slower this time.
Coming off now.
Back on the circuit, the last cars are pulling in and returning to the paddock, while we take a look at some of the highlights of the day. It may only be a Lynx D-type, but a welcome sight nevertheless. Ford's RS200 Rally Supercar. Produced too late to see much action, but a thoroughbred classic for the future. The Lamborghini Countach. Love them or loathe them, today you couldn't escape them. As expected, Di Tomaso's proliferated both on and off the track. And finally, yours for a cool million, the Ferrari 288 GTO, one of the most sought after of all supercars. You can look, but you can't touch. Quite what these two were doing here on a supercar test day is anybody's guess. Perhaps their supercars were at home in the garage. Darren Stiles, what do you consider were today's highlights?
Well, this has been one of them. This is the PBB Saint-Tropez Turbo. It's basically a soft-top conversion of the original Lotus Esprit. Equally, it was nice to see the Ferrari 288 GTO. That's a very rare bird indeed. And to see 6 Lamborghini Countach anniversaries in a row is something you don't see too often either.
Okay, it's been good. Good day, lots of very exciting cars here. From all corners of the globe, probably. Good day for us, the car held together, which makes a change, I think, these days. A lot of quick cars embarrassed out there by us, I hope, as well.
But not everybody's car did hold together, as this seemingly steam-powered Di Tomaso illustrates.
It's not too serious, fortunately. It's only the fan belt's gone, but basically it's just overheating, and unfortunately this has blown one of the head gaskets on the left-hand side, but shouldn't be too bad. We'll be back on the road again in no time at all. I think I can probably live with that.
On reflection, has it been a good day?
Another good day, plenty of sunshine. We've been ever so lucky. We've never had rain in all the time we've been coming here. Nobody crashed a car. There's been 1 or 2 mechanical mishaps, but a super day. Without this type of track, you'd be forced to try and enjoy the car somewhere else, which may be less safe than bringing it here. Bringing it here is you're running at your risk, but it gives you a chance to actually learn about the car, and hopefully it makes you a better driver and safer with the car in normal road use.
And on that note, we say goodbye from this supercar test day.